Okay, so I've been working away at like removing the factory panties from her. At first I tried, well, I started with chiseling away very carefully with the X-Acto knife around the edges and everything here up near the actual like panty line, and then was, you know, chiseling away a little bit around here at just the little dots and stuff. And then I was kind of like, I had seen another video where someone had literally just taken their blade and was scraping really fast and just kind of like chiseling away at the little dots. And it kind of intimidated me with like how fast she was doing it and how it didn't seem like she had a lot of control really of what was going on. And there was just like a lot of like grit and stuff that was building up around the blade and around on the doll's little behind, and it just seemed like it was just a lot of extra work that didn't need to be done. So I then tried, you can see kind of, oh, I don't know how well you can see it, right in here, I tried just scraping along with, I did manage to find some sandpaper. I thought I didn't have any. Again, I can't just run out to the store because my husband has the only car that we have working right now. The other one's in the shop. So, and this was, let's see, it's 120 medium. I probably should have been using more of like a fine, a little bit finer one. But it did a fairly good job of getting rid of it. But I'm definitely going to have to go back over it again. I mean, either way, if I use the blade or the sandpaper, I'll have to go back over it again with finer sandpaper to really smooth it down and buff it out. But this here is, and again, I don't know how well that's turning out on the camera, but this here on this side is the sandpaper version, and this up in here, this smoother area, this is actually just me very carefully, very patiently chiseling the little dots away with the X-Acto knife, just like I started to over on this side. And honestly, this seems to leave less of a problem to sand away than the sandpaper does. So I think I'm going to continue just being really careful with chiseling away with the X-Acto knife. The problem is that I can't really show very easily how to do this part on the camera because I actually have to hold her like almost right up to my chest and like, I don't know, like 5 inches from my face, and like hold her very carefully and just kind of chisel away real slow at these little dots. And you kind of have to put your doll in like some weird positions to get the leg gapped away from the underwear enough for you to get in there. So I'll kind of try to show you now kind of what I've been doing, but I just kind of very carefully, very patiently just, of course she's not cooperating now, just skim away these little tiny bits. And again, it's easier for me to see what I'm doing when I'm holding her up closer. So I'm just kind of doing this for you guys for the camera. So there. I don't know if you can see around the edge there. Here and everything. How much smoother that is compared to the sandpaper side. So I think for me, the X-Acto knife first, as like the first, you know, layer, kind of works best. So, but try whatever works for you. Look up a lot of videos before you start your Monster High custom. Don't just jump right into it. I've been watching a bunch of videos for like a year now, if not more. Seen a bunch of people do it a bunch of different ways, and this just, you know, real patient, kind of very slow chiseling away just works for me. If you don't mind the extra work that's going to be, you know, going, you know, down in grades or up in grades depending on how sandpaper goes, and, you know, starting with a rough and then going to a smooth and everything, But yeah, so far I think I'm liking the X-Acto knife as the first kind of carving away layer first. But this is, this is what you get here. This more, I don't know, it just seems a little smoother. Like I'm gonna have to do a little less work on the sanding part if I do this first. So yeah, thanks for watching again.